lovely Lenox, Alabama. Beautiful out there today. It is November the 23rd, 2025. We're on a lot of channels. Some people put my stuff up on YouTube. Please do. Okay. We can't. They don't like me, but that's okay. Joseph, you like me, don't you? Okay, good. Okay. We're on Facebook, big channel at Rumble. Let's see, Twitter, Instagram, our own app, kenthovind.tv, Instagram and TikTok. Sign up for all of them. They're all free. Okay. Push one of them buttons, something will happen. Here we are. The 12th, Ecclesiastes 12. Now, this Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving, and you can come down and join our family. We'll feed you, house you, stay for 2 days. After that, we put you to work. Okay. Join us for special days, Christmas. We can be your family. We got a 1995 Jeep. I thought about, hey, let's put money into it and fix it. Well, Billy drove it around for a while, but it's got a couple of issues and stuff like that. Best offer. We're trying to get rid of. I don't want to spend my time fixing cars. Same thing with the Willys. I bought that off the neighbor thinking, wouldn't that be cool to have a 1947 Willys to drive around? Got a good motor and got the clutch for it. Got to put in. I said, stop. Sell it. Somebody else make that their project. Okay. Rusted floorboard, stuff like that. If you want a 1947 Willys, give me a call. Make me an offer, okay? The world's record for a longhorn cow or whatever that is almost 11 feet, 127 inches. Our steer, Bo, is only what? How old is Bo? 10 months old? Anybody know? Anyway, he's headed that way. Friendly, come on up, feed Bo. How anybody can believe this? Look at this. Mosquitoes, only female mosquitoes bite. Sounds like the human species, okay? They track humans through heat and carbon dioxide. Their wings beat up to 600 times a second. That's pretty quick. 36,000 RPM. Yeah, okay. That'll be more than that, 360,000. Okay. Most live for days to weeks. Males drink nectar only. They cause more deaths yearly than any animal. They can sense humans from 100 feet away. That is 6,000 of their body lengths. That's like me being able to smell somebody 7 miles away. Now, you evolutionists, you think the mosquitoes' olfactory nerves and sensory system happen by chance. You really need help. Okay, we're here to help. We think evolution is real stupid. Okay, help us to open for free. Join our 777 Club if you want to give us $1 a day to keep us as your missionary. We just want to win souls to the Lord. Okay, call Bobby or Joy if you got questions about that. Dr. Dino Secretary at Gmail. I got that right? Okay, good. There we are, Dr. Dino, our website. Open for free, 9.7 years now. Okay, we've been talking about, let's see, we'll get up to slide number 677. This is the last chapter in the book of Ecclesiastes. Dead center in your Bible. Here, I forgot to tell you. If you want to come take the real tour, you can get one of our coffee cups. Took the tour for Christmas. Start getting stuff lined up for kids that you want to win to the Lord. Our book series for children, The Adventures of Danny the Dinosaur, is really going to, I think, get the gospel to the kids in the language they can understand. We got a lot of stuff. We want to help to win the world. If you don't like our price, make an offer. Girls, somebody says, hey, can I get this free with it? Like I said, we just want to win the war. Okay, Ecclesiastes. Dead center in the Bible is the book of Psalms. You got Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Serves as a concluding chapter of the book, urging readers to remember their Creator in the days of their youth. Hey, morning, kids. You ready to go for the tour when we're done here, girls? Okay. Are you still 5? Is she still 5? Okay. Had a blast yesterday. I pick on the kids all the time. Okay. Remember their creators in the days, the Creator in the days of their youth, before the onset of adversity in the years when they will find no pleasure. As you get older and older, there's less things you can do. Okay. The chapter transitions to the moment of death, where the silver cord is broken. That'd be an interesting verse. Okay. And the golden bowl is crushed, and the pitcher is shattered at the well, and the wheel at the cistern is broken. These are all images from Ecclesiastes 12. Images symbolizing the dissolution of the body vital functions. You're going to die and things are going to quit working, okay? The teacher, King Solomon, who identified himself as the preacher, reflects on his life of wisdom and experience. When he became king, God appeared to him and said, Solomon, you're going to be king over my nation now. What would you like? He said, Lord, I need wisdom. God said, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to give you more wisdom than any man's ever had. And you didn't ask for money. I'm going to give you more money than anybody's ever had. And you didn't ask for peace. I'm going to make all the neighbors leave you alone while you're king. He gave him things he didn't ask for. We covered that back in chapter 1. Okay. affirming that his purpose was to teach knowledge and to write truthful words. He dedicated his life to producing wisdom that people could live by. That's where we get the book of Proverbs. The chapter calls for a life lived in reverence to God, recognizing the true meaning and joy are found not in fleeting pleasures of the world, but in a relationship with the eternal Creator. So remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. Hey, best time to serve God is when you're young. I was 16 when I started. Said, man, I'm going to try to do something for God. Made plenty of mistakes along the way, but hey, I'm glad. I wish I would have started earlier. Okay. While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. See, the older you get, the more aches and pains you get. How many have noticed that? As you get older, you got aches and pains and can't see as well. And yeah, what used to work don't work anymore. Okay. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened. You just can't see as well, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Most commentators think that's talking about, your knees, your legs that hold you standing up, or your arms, everything, starts to tremble. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. I think he's talking about you start running out of teeth, okay? Your teeth fall out. You don't have anything to grind the food with now because they're gone, okay? And those that look out of the windows be darkened. I think, again, he's talking about the eyes here. And the door shall be shut in the street when the sound of the grinders is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Can't hear as well either. So Solomon says, you better serve God while you're young, because there's coming a time when you're not going to be able to do what you wished you could do, okay? And when they shall be afraid of that which is high. Older you get, the more you don't want to go on the roller coaster and take, the rock across the high bridge because you're afraid of falling. See, when you're young, you can fall, you feel invincible. But as you get older, you think, I don't want to fall. How many know what I'm talking about? You've been that, I don't want to fall down anymore, Dad. And their fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish. And the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail. Because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. I think most commentators would agree that's probably talking about this long home one day. It's going to be your home one day, and mine. You're going to be there a long time. I'm going to get ready for that, okay? Or the silver cord be loosed, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the weak will broken at the cistern. What's a silver cord? Well, the phrase silver cord be loosed is a metaphor found in Ecclesiastes describing the moment of death. It's interpreted by commentators as referring to the spinal marrow, the marrow going down your spine, which connects the brain to the spine and is like to the cord due to its long round shape and vital function. If that spinal cord is broken, you're done, okay? And the vital function of transmitting signals for movement and sensation. The silver cord be loosed. Anatomists will tell you, yeah, there's a spinal marrow around the spine and the nerve cord. The silver cord, when that gets broken, you're gonna quit breathing, quit everything, okay? If it's broken in the right spot. The cord is described as being loosed or dissolved, signifying the cessation of its function as life ends. Your life, one day it's going to quit. I'm going to die one day. I'm going to make it the last thing I do. I decided that years ago. This imagery is part of a broader description of the body's decline and the finality of death, emphasizing the need to remember one's Creator before it happens. He said, remember your Creator when you're young, because you're going to get old. Solomon's giving wisdom to folks here. The cord is when your life stops, you die, okay? Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Some examples of well-known phrases from the Book of Common Prayer. Speak now or forever hold your peace. That's in the marriage ceremony. Till death do us part, from the marriage ceremony. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That's in most people's funeral service, okay? Comes out of this verse right here. Dust shall we were made from dust, and you're going to turn back to dust. One guy went in the house they were examining, and he looking around trying to see if they should buy the house. And he looked under the bed, bunch of dust under there. He said, somebody's either coming or going. Never mind. Okay. Dust to Dust was a film back in 1938. Many people have made movies on this theme, Dust to Dust, okay? Many people have made music about it, Dust to Dust, singing, okay? Other media, a novel. 1989 episode of the War of the Worlds, Dust to Dust. I never did watch any of those episodes, but it must be important to somebody somewhere. Okay. Why does ashes to ash, what does ashes to ash, dust to dust mean from Bible study? Okay. The ancient Roman culture, when a general rode into town, having victoriously conquered another, a slave known as auriga would tell him, remember, you are mortal. That was the slave's job. Guys coming in, remember, sir, you're mortal. Okay. This humbling notion had similar connections. Ashes to ash, dust to dust. Reminds us that we are but man, that we can do nothing outside of God's will. And that ultimately, when our lives end, we return to the earth as dust when our bodies decay. Anyway, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, all is vanity. This goes back to what he said in chapter 1. King Solomon, more money than anybody could spend, more women than anyone could know, more wisdom than any man ever had, more honor in his own, he had his own army, had the biggest house you can imagine, and the fanciest throne. Did that satisfy? No. Wanted more, okay? And Solomon's telling people, look, be careful about this quest for more. You see that commercial they did where they said Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, had everything they could eat. Adam says, Eve, what do you think of this place? Look, everything's perfect. She said, yeah, but I just want more. The words of the preacher, he said back in chapter 1, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Well, vanity, we talked about that back. The word vanity used in Ecclesiastes 33 times, okay? It's 86 times in the Bible, okay? Vanities, plural, used in the Bible a bunch of times, 13 times in the Bible, 4 in the book of Ecclesiastes. Vain, found in the Bible 137 times. He said, I have vain thoughts. I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love, King David said. Let's see. That's for who knoweth what is good for man in this life, all the days of his vain life. You got vain, vanity, and vanities, a whole bunch of times there. In the 10 Commandments, God said, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Some of you use God's name just in your normal speech, like, oh God. You don't use the word God unless you're talking to him or talking about him. And surely don't use him as a curse word. He's going to judge you for that. He said, it's in the 10 Commandments. Don't take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. And that's what you're doing when you're swearing with his name in it, okay? But I want you to look at this. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. So the first commandment, don't have any gods before me. Number 2, don't make a graven image. Number 3, don't take the name of the Lord God in vain. Number 4, remember the Sabbath. You can look at all 10. Oh, here they are. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Don't make unto thee a graven image. Got it? Remember the Sabbath. Don't take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Now, I want you to see the Catholic Bible. Watch this. I'm the Lord your God. Here's the Catholic traditions. You shall not have any strange gods before me. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. What happened to the one about the graven image? Did you know they took out that one? And they split number 10 to make it, thou shalt don't covet your neighbor's wife and don't covet your neighbor's goods. In the King James, that's all one commandment. Why did they take out that one? There's number 2, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. No, that's number 3. Well, you know why they left that one out? Why is that one gone? And why did they split that one to 2? Because their church is full of graven images. That's why. Like, duh, it's not complicated. Okay. Why is that one gone? Yeah, they don't want that one in there. Okay. Found in the Bible a bunch of times. Why do they call it vanity? How many have a vanity in your bathroom? Got a sink, and a nice mirror to look at, stare at for an hour, see if you're doing good, Vanity, excessive pride in one's appearance or accomplishments. A synonym for conceit, okay? Worthlessness, pointless, it's futile, okay? If a pig is worth $100, what's it worth if you put lipstick on it? $100, okay. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Even as Solomon went through life with all this wisdom, he realized, all I'm working for, my money, my castles, all this stuff is vanity. I had better start teaching the people this stuff. And he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. Solomon wrote a lot of proverbs. the word Proverbs found in the Bible 9 times. He spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 1,005. I'd encourage you to get a habit. When I was a young Christian, got my Bible, this is probably my 4th or 5th one, but I kept writing, when I hear a cool proverb, I'd write it down in the back of the Bible. Somebody would say something really cool, a stitch in time saves 9. Well, that's not a proverb from the Bible, but it's an interesting way to live, okay? My dad was full of these things, Son, you want to change oil in your car? Or do you want to change motors? I think I'll change oil, Dad. A lot cheaper, okay. Good, little witty things that, make to live by. Proverbs. Solomon wrote 3,000 of them. So the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David. The Proverbs, a wise son maketh a glad father, and a foolish son's the heaviness of his mother. The Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah copied out. That was several generations later, okay? Jesus spoke unto you in Proverbs, spoken to them in Proverbs. Anyway, the preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. Solomon devoted his life to writing out things that will help other people find knowledge. The words of the wise are as goads. Goads, what's a goad anyway? As nails fashioned by the master of assembly and are given from one shepherd. Well, there was no smith found throughout the land of Israel. The Philistines had conquered them, and they took away all their weapons, their swords and spears. But they let them have one smith, and if you wanted to sharpen your knife, you had to go to that guy to get it sharpened. All the Israelites went down to the Philistines to sharpen his share, and his coulter, and his axe, and his mattocks. Yet they had a file for the mattocks and for the goads. So the Philistines let them have a file to sharpen their goads. Well, what on earth is a goad? There was one guy in the book of Judges. He slew at Moab at the time 10,000 men, all lusty. He conquered the whole army by himself, this one guy did. And there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued under the hand, and the land had rest for 40 years, 80 years. Shamgar. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad. You'd want to have a warrior like that in your army. These were the Navy SEALs of the Jewish army. What's an ox goad? There's an ox goad. What's it for? To poke the ox to get him moving again, to goad him, goad him to do something. Goad, okay? Poke him. All right. Furthermore, by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness to the flesh. Son, getting study makes you worn out. How many of you remember getting worn out trying to do your homework at night? Those that did it, okay? And of making many books there's no end. And much study is a weariness to the flesh. Admonish, found in the Bible a couple times, the counsel to somebody. Hey, I'm warning you. I want to help you. I want to admonish you not to do that, or admonish you to do that, okay? To exhort, to urge, to remind someone of something they forgot. Let me admonish you. I think you forgot, okay? Admonished, plural, found in the Bible 5 times. He said, the Lord said concerning you, O ye remnant of Judah, don't go into Egypt. For I know I have admonished you this day, okay? When the time was spent, the sailing was now past. Paul, who was a prisoner, said, guys, I admonish you, don't go. We're going to have a wreck. It's too late to sail. Wait till next year, okay? Admonition found in the Bible 3 times, okay? Now, all things happen for their admonition. I wrote those down to admonish you how to behave in 1 Corinthians. Ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but admonish them, bring them up in the admonishment of the Lord. Teach your kids. Don't just keep provoking them to make them angry. Teach them how to do things right. My dad was so good at that, teaching us boys things, I never heard him raise his voice to one time when I was 13. He's teaching me to drive the Volkswagen. We went out to I think it was Kmart parking lot or something, Okay, boy, put the clutch in, put it in gear, let the clutch out slow. Of course, I'm 13, I peeled out and slammed on the brakes and killed the motor about 20 times. And finally, my dad raised his voice. First time I'd ever heard him. I said, let the clutch out slow. Who is this in my car here? That's Dad. Marine, Sergeant, World War II, 6'2", okay? Never heard him raise. He admonished us instead of beat us, Sometimes we did get a spanking. But a man that's a heretic after the first and second admonition, reject. You warn him twice, say, look, I'm done. Guy called me the other day on the phone. I started, going off on all kinds of stuff. You're this, you're that. And I said, boy, the book of Proverbs says I'm not supposed to talk to you. Bye, click. Get away from a wicked man, okay? By these be admonished, and making many books there is no end. Much study is a weariness to the flesh. The exact number of books written in history is not known, but it's at least 129 million, okay? And that was before now since the printing press, okay? These guys says 158 million. I've written 67 books. I don't claim to be inspired any of them, but I've written quite a few books. I want to pass on what little bit I know to other people and say, hey, serve God, okay? But much study is a weariness to the flesh. You have kids turn in homework and there's a little round circle on there. You know they were laying there slobbering on it while they're sleeping, you know, okay? Let's hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God. Keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. Solomon, the wisest man in history, said, this is the best you can do. Serve God, fear God, and keep his commandments. Do what he says. Solomon, the claim that the world's smartest man believes in God, associated with Christopher Langan, cited as an IQ reportedly between 190 and 210. He said the key to life is to search for God and believe that he believes his cognitive theory model provides a logical proof for God's existence. The guy in Korea claimed he's the smartest man, IQ of 276. How do you measure that? Publicly declared on social media just last June that he believes Jesus Christ is God, the way, the truth, and the life. You know, smart people know there's a God. So if you don't believe there's a God, you're dumb. Bible says you're a fool. Yeah, Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. So I would never make the claim that I'm the smartest man alive. I know I'm not. But I'm smart enough to know this Big Bang Theory is stupid. I'm smart enough to know this geologic column is stupid. How can the layers be different ages? Guys, stop and think. If the top layer is younger than the rest, where did it come from? Think. Every speck of dirt in the universe is the same age. Whether 6,000 or 6 trillion, that's a different argument. It's all the same age. There is no geologic column. I'm smart enough to know that. This family tree is stupid. You're not related to a potato and a petunia. Stop. Think. Okay? This idea that all the matter in the universe arose from nothing, that's stupid. Okay? This is stupid to think your great-great-great-great-grandpa was a chimpanzee or orangutan or baboon or something. That's stupid. Here's the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God, keep his commandments. Are smart enough to know that's true. Are you that smart? Get busy winning souls. 56 years now, almost 57. I've devoted my life to trying to get the gospel out however I can. That's what these DVDs are for. We give these, if you have a little business, want to order a set of these, a little stand to put them in, free. Tell your customers, free. We'll sell them to you at our cost to produce, okay? A DVD, got the flyer in there about Dinosaur Adventureland. Each one has got the gospel story in here on my business card, how to get saved. You could put one up in your store, or if you don't own the store, but you manage it, ask the boss, hey, can we put these up? If you support getting the gospel out, and you should, we're all supposed to be doing this. That's why we make millions of videos. We're trying to get them out there. You can copy them. Always been able. Get my video series, $50, copy it 1,000 times, send it back, get your money back. You know a better deal than that? One guy in Dallas said he copied it for, I think 46,000 times was the last I heard. Please, win some. Are you winning souls? If you're not, you don't get it. Solomon, with all the money, all the wisdom, all the property, peace in his time, 700 wives and 300 porcupines, said, look, the conclusion is you better fear God and keep his commandments. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or bad, whether it be good or whether it be evil. In our Woe series, What on Earth is About to Happen, I did a series on that, goes with this chart behind me and the little version of the same chart. What's about to happen? What's the Bible teach about end times? I wrote a book about it, What on Earth is About to Happen, right here. I did a video series about it. I did the big chart behind it with loads of stuff on there. I want to know, what does the Bible say is going to happen? There are 2 judgments in the Bible. There's a judgment seat of Christ right here when we're raptured out. At the end of the tribulation, the Christians get raptured out to the judgment seat of Christ. Then there's going to be the great white throne judgment. Now that's for all the sinners. The first one's for the Christians, the judgment seat of Christ, mentioned in the Bible several times. We must all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. Why dost thou judge thy brother? Christians are going to stand before this is not to determine if you go to heaven. That's already been decided. You're going. It's to decide your rewards. Are you going to get gold, silver, precious stones, or wood, hay, stubble? Then your pile of rewards are going to be tested by fire. Some people do a lot of good, Joseph, but they do it for the wrong reason. They do it to be seen, or do it to get out of trouble. Yeah, right. Okay. God's going to, here's a bale of hay. Congratulations. Wait a minute, light the match, you know. You're going to think you got this huge pile of rewards and it's going to all burn. The judgment seat of Christ. We're going to be there if you're saved. We have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love. He that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Here's our love made perfect. We must have boldness in the day of judgment. Because this is for Christians. We're going to have a judgment, but it's not to see if you go to heaven or not. If you don't have Christ, you're not going. Okay? Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Would you want God to do that? Would you want God to search you and know your thoughts? He does anyway. See if there be any wicked way in me. See, the word of God is quick and powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and the joints and the marrow, that would be your body, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Wow. You want God to search you? He will. That's the judgment seat of Christ. Now, if you're not saved, there's going to be another judgment called the Great White Throne Judgment. That's for the lost. In Revelation 20, I saw a great white throne. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. Another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things that are written in the books, according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead, and death and hell delivered up the dead in them. And they were judged, every man according to their works. God's got a record of everything you've ever said, ever done, ever thought. If you're not saved, you're going to be judged by that record. It's going to look bad. You can get it erased. That's what the blood of Jesus Christ cleanses it, okay? Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. Is that going to be you? I don't want that to be anybody. So if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. He hath reconciled us to himself. Reconcile is when you bring somebody back together and you make up, say, I'm sorry, or somebody apologizes, or you make it right. And he's given to us the ministry of reconciliation. God gave us the job of telling other people how they can get right with God. That's called soul winning, okay? Reconcile. To reestablish a close relationship, to settle or resolve, to bring, to accept. Have you shared the gospel with anyone? Have you ever done that? Have you? You can help people get reconciled with God. They're going to appreciate that forever. Solomon said the most important thing you can do, fear God and keep his commandments. Last commandment Jesus gave, go into all the world, preach the gospel. We got distracted, didn't we? Too busy chasing Pac-Man or, watching a bunch of grown men in tight pants fight over a ball or whatever it is, okay? I don't know what's important to you. You decide. I'm trying to get ready for my judgment. I want him to say, well done, good and faithful servant. What are you doing? Okay, any questions or comments, brother? And then we'll head for lunch.
Just one question that's really relevant.
Okay. Do actual Christian warriors a good idea? I'm not sure what you mean by that. We should fight the good fight, and definitely be a warrior in the right way. I don't think there's anything wrong with the military. It'd be wonderful, support your country, But if you mean, I'd have to have the question refined a little bit before I could answer it.
Is a picture graven into the image?
Is a picture, some people argue they want to take it to an extreme. Maybe it is. Nobody knows what Jesus looked like, and there's probably a reason, I don't want to fight that battle, but I think some people carry it as extremes, I suppose, And I don't go in and tell the Catholics you're heathen because you got this image here, Try to win them to the Lord. Yep.
Tell Jay and Kim on TikTok you are alive.
Tell Jay and Kim on TikTok I am alive?
Live, yes, sir.
I thought that would be kind of obvious, isn't it?
That's all I got.
All right. See you tomorrow night. Bye.